Vinny, you really buying LeBron as the number 2, the Anthony Davis? Okay. So I see, but I know that smile already. I've seen that a couple times this week.
Look, that sounds nice. It's a generous gesture, right? But there's no way that if LeBron is as great as we believe that he is historically, and Nick, you believe he's the greatest player ever, I have him at worst in the top 5. You can't look through history and say that there's a top 5 player historically that takes a back seat while in or near his prime. Kareem, Magic, Michael, LeBron, whoever you put in there, there's never been a person who will willingly take that spot back to number 2. Now, you can do 1A, 1B like Shaq and Kobe did post their first championship season, but no, and I think here's why I think LeBron said that. Anthony Davis in that same interview said that Derrick Rose was like a mentor to me. And Derrick Rose is 5 years removed from LeBron James being drafted. So imagine the esteem that he holds LeBron James in. So LeBron had to make sure that from a generational standpoint, that he knew that Anthony Davis felt as invested and also as, welcomed in that new environment with all the drama that happened the year before so that he could be his full self. And LeBron knows that he can't do this for 82 games every night and then 20 games and win a title. He's not at that point of his career anymore, but he's still going to have to be the guy that everything runs through if the Lakers are going to win anything of substance.
All right, so a couple notes here. One is, by the way, shout out to Shams Charania for getting, that was great stuff by him, and he does a great job in general. And I'm not going to parse with you the Kareem Magic thing because I feel like there was a brief period where they were both in their prime and someone had to take a back seat, but I get the point the overall point that you're making. But this is why LeBron, in addition to top 5's generous, into being the greatest player ever, he's the smartest player ever. Anthony Davis needed to hear this. Anthony Davis is not under contract after this season. The Lakers got no play if he walks. Now, he is not going to walk. He is not planning on walking. But neither Anthony Davis nor Rich Paul have ever once said he's a lock to re-sign there. Now, I feel he's a lock to re-sign there because LeBron's going to massage and handle this situation perfectly. And Anthony Davis, by the way, will lead the Lakers in points this year. He will be the focal point scoring-wise of their offense. And at one point, because LeBron plans on playing at least this season plus 3 more, hopes to be 4 or 5 more because he's holding on to the hope he could one day be on the same court as his son, even if it's on opposing teams. He knows what the timeline is. At some point, whether that's year 19 or 20 or 21, he won't be in his prime any longer. He's already extended his prime longer than any player other than Karl Malone in NBA history. But at some point, Anthony Davis will actually be the number 1. But right now, he can be the number 1 in name. LeBron still has to run the team. LeBron James still has to run the offense. And LeBron James still has to run the behind-the-scenes aspects, which a lot of this was. It's the same thing with trying to give him his jersey number. It's these little things to make it clear, hey, man.
Psychological warfare, a little bit.
Warfare is not the word I would use. Psychological, whatever a positive version of warfare is. Yeah, because like where he wants Anthony Davis to feel like, hey, man, you are not Robin. Because Anthony Davis is too good and too young compared to soon-to-be 35-year-old LeBron James to be Robin, even if when we're watching the games, we're like, that dude's Robin. He's an overqualified Robin. And so, yeah, I don't buy it, but I understand why he did it, and I think it was calculated, and I think it's the absolute right move.
Don't you think it's eerily familiar to what D. Wade told LeBron when they had the big 3 join, and Dwayne Wade said, hey, I'm giving you the keys, man. This is your franchise. Right? Yes, and that was when they started to take off. That's when they actually started to win. I think the impact that had on LeBron, and he saw what that meant for him personally, is probably similar to why he did this with AD, saying, you know what? Because I don't think anybody's going to question who the alpha is in there, who the leader is, who the face of that franchise is, who's going to have their ball in their hands at the end of games. Now, the thing LeBron has always done, he's going to make the best decision, basketball decision, late game situations. So I think from that standpoint, nobody's buying, hey, all of a sudden Anthony Davis is going to be the focal point of this offense just by the nature of positions. But I think this was a significant gesture from LeBron to boost up Anthony Davis's confidence and belief in this team.
At some point, there's going to be, like you said, Nick, there's going to be the day where LeBron is not the greatest. He doesn't take up the most oxygen in the room. And how he adjusts to that is going to play on who plays with him, who plays next to him, and how his career sort of slides on the decline. He's on a decline now, but it's a very slow decline. It's not fast. It's not an Allen Iverson decline.
Right.
It's not a Carmelo Anthony decline where you notice it just being so obvious. So he's making sure that his career extends more and longer than anybody else's.
Nick, I don't understand. Where is Anthony Davis, besides scoring, the #1 on this team?
Oh, that's the only place. It's the only place. And he might be, but he has to be able to have a leadership role empowered by LeBron, if for no other reason than age. Then because there are Kuzma's going to be the 3rd leading scorer on this team. I don't know if he's 3rd most important, but he's going to be the 3rd leading scorer. Kuzma's going to be able to relate a lot more to Anthony Davis than he is to LeBron off the court. Lifestyle. Like, there is the father of 3 married element of this, and Anthony Davis has to be empowered in all those ways. And I believe the Lakers are going to win the championship this year. And they can win the championship, and I believe will win the championship, with LeBron being the best player on their team and in the league. But if they're going to win multiple championships, at some point, it's going to have to be because Anthony Davis is the best player on their team and in discussion for best player in the league, because Giannis is only getting better. The Clippers, while I'm not as high on them as others, they at least have a 3-year window of extreme relevance. I think the Rockets are scary. Luka is coming like a damn rocket ship. Like these are, and you're right, LeBron is slowly deteriorating. But I mean, if you were at the peak of Everest and you come down a little bit, you're still at the highest point in the world of anybody. So, like, that's where he is, but at some point, he goes down further. And that's when Anthony Davis has to meet him, you know, on his way to the summit. And he can't do that until 2 things have happened. 1, LeBron has empowered him, and 2, Anthony Davis has been on a real playoff run. That's the other element of this we have to wait and see, where how Anthony Davis, I think the best version of Anthony Davis we'll ever see will be the beginning of next season. Whether they win the title or not, once he has the real experience of those 15 to 25 playoff games, what it's like in that cauldron, and what he becomes coming out of.
Make no mistake, they can't win if Anthony Davis is playing a subservient role to LeBron. They have to win because he feels like he is on an equal level, if not a higher plane from an all-around standpoint as LeBron. He's going to be the guy defending, blocking shots, setting the defense up. LeBron is not going to play that level of defense, and he's not going to be able to maintain a certain level of play for this entire season and also through the playoff run. Nick, I don't think that we can discount the amount of miles on his body so far and how much that's taken a toll on him to this point.
Same talk you and I had in the beginning. You could be my 1A, I'll be 1, and we move forward. Hand in hand, Nick.
That's exactly
hand in hand.
That's exactly right.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.